Hello, Living Hope family. I get to share this week's devotional with you, focusing on the prayer known as the Magnificat, Mary's song of praise. We find that in Luke chapter 1, verses 39 through 55. A bit of context, Mary is chosen as the mother of Jesus. She is known by the angel Gabriel that she will bring forth the Savior of this world, the Savior of Israel. And in the midst of the fear and the confusion, the angel Gabriel tells Mary, "Do not be afraid, for you have found favor in the Lord." You can only imagine her being a virgin, betrothed to a carpenter, the confusion and everything that might come with that. Yet she says, "Let it be to me according to your word." We see that in verse 38. So it's in that context that she goes and visits Elizabeth, another woman who has been barren, is on the older side, but yet has been blessed by God to be the mother of who would later be known as John the Baptist. Mary goes visits Elizabeth, and Elizabeth tells her, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb." She goes on to say, "And blessed is she who believed that there would be a fulfillment of what was spoken to her from the Lord." There was an element of faith that Mary needed in order for this fulfillment, for her to trust that the fulfillment of the Lord will be accomplished through his word, right? With what he says. And then Mary goes on to pray this powerful prayer. And she starts out by saying, "My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior. For he has looked on the humble estate of his servant. For behold, from now on all generations will call me blessed. For he who is mighty has done great things for me, and holy is his name. And his mercy is for those who fear him, from generation to generation. He has shown strength with his arm. He has scattered the proud in the thoughts of their hearts. He has brought down the mighty from their thrones, and exalted those of humble estate. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty. He has helped his servant Israel in remembrance of his mercy, as he spoke to our fathers, to Abraham and to his offspring forever." There are a couple things we could focus on, but the one thing I want to highlight from this powerful prayer is the theme that we see all throughout the gospel, that theme of the great reversal that we see in this world after the coming of Christ, which is that the humbled will be exalted, and those that are prideful will be humbled. Not only that, but we also recognize that God is able to use those who you least expect. God is able to use those who are insignificant to fulfill his purpose on this world. People like Mary, a young woman, a young virgin, a humble servant of Nazareth. People like Peter and fishermen, tax collectors, people like you and me. So if you have ever felt not capable of fulfilling God's purpose out of a fear, out of inadequacy, for whatever reasons you may think, go back and recognize through these gospels, through this prayer, that even a humble servant like Mary is able to be used. She goes on to say, "And his mercy is for those who fear him from generation to generation." Is this fear, which is not necessarily talking about being afraid of God, but seeking his will, being reverent and in humble obedience, seeking to fulfill his purpose. I ask you, Living Hope, what has God asked of you? What is that word that God has given you, or what's that purpose that you believe God has given you, that you could, in humble prayer, in a posture of just asking what that is, believe, just like Mary did, that it is he who calls you. So Living Hope, let us be men and women that desire, that our primary desire is to fulfill his promises over our life, and that our primary desire is to magnify who he is through our words, our actions, and how we carry ourselves as disciples of Christ. And let us be like Mary, who starts off this prayer by saying something so beautiful, saying, "My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in the God of my salvation.